Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday evening. I've been procrastinating about doing this video, partly because I've been out of the country on an international trip, and partly because I hoped that the February Illumicrate box would come in and I could take care of both boxes on the same video. But that didn't happen, so we'll just continue on as it is. I also have some books to show you later on in the video that are Illumicrate special editions. I hope you'll enjoy seeing that. And let's get started. The theme of the January Illumicrate box was Journey's End. So the theme for the January Illumicrate subscription box is Journey's End. And the first item that we have in the box is the Daevabad wooden map. Might help if I turned it right side up. Now, this may be a cool thing to put on your bookshelf if you're a big fan of these books, but I've never read any of them. So I don't really have a lot of use for that. Now, if it were a map of Middle Earth, I'd feel a whole lot different about that. And the next thing we have is the Secret Society bag inspired by the Book Eaters. It's basically a fanny pack. And, I'm not really into fanny packs. I do have one because they're useful if you go to Universal Orlando. There are certain of the rides that will allow you to wear a fanny pack on the rides. Otherwise, you have to put everything in a locker. It does have 3 zippered openings, and the zippers look like they're very sturdy and of good quality. But I don't know that I would ever use this one because I do have one that I purchased from LL Bean just to go to Universal with. And then we have what is probably my second favorite item in the box, a Middle Earth cutlery set. So we have a nice gold-plated, gold-toned fork that says 11sies, and a spoon that says second breakfast. And the knife says supper. And then we have chopsticks, which I think is rather an odd choice. And they don't have anything printed on them. So it's cute. I don't know that I would ever be in a situation where I felt like I had to take my own cutlery with me. I would probably take plastic on a picnic, but it's still a really cute idea. And I'm a sucker for anything that's Lord of the Rings themed. I have this little spoon that I got from LitJoy that says, "One spoon to rule them all," which kind of matches the Illumicrate set. And then we have the Mortal Sorrow pencil wrap. Use this pencil wrap inspired by an enchantment of ravens to safely transport all of your art supplies. Now this is, other than the book, my favorite thing in this January subscription box, because as you can see, I have lots of ink pens, and that's not all of them. I have more in these pouches up here, and more in this pouch. So this is a very useful object. I did try it out. I filled it up with some of my pens. It makes a rather bulky package, but it does work. Although I found out that if you have thicker barreled, larger diameter barrel ink pens or fountain pens, that you can't really fit, you can't utilize all of the spaces. If you had smaller diameter barrels on your pens, you could fill up all the spaces. But I think it's a cool item and a useful one. And then we have the Lying Cat card holder inspired by Saga. And I'm not familiar with that at all. But this is kind of cute. It says, I won't buy any more books. Yeah, right. Lying. I've never used just a credit card holder because my wallet has all the credit card spaces in it, but I kind of like this. Even though it only has 2 pockets, it feels kind of rubbery inside. Yeah, it has this sort of rubber inside that would make it grip the cards really well to keep them from sliding out. I kind of like this. And then we finally get down to the book for the January Illumicrate box, which is God Killer by Hannah Kaner. Now, it has a gorgeous cover, but what everyone got really excited about were the stenciled edges. And that is the god featured in the story, Sketty. Sprayed top and bottom. Just a really gorgeous cover. I'm actually about halfway through reading this book, and I am enjoying it much more than I really expected to. It's signed by the author. Nice fold-in pages. Not really crazy about the design on the hardcover. But in YA fantasy, you get kind of tired after a while of the same tropes, the same plots. The young girl going out to, defeat evil or kill the evil gods or kill the evil king. But I actually found this book to be very well written, humorous at times. This was the author letter that came with it. And as I said, I'm about halfway through it, and I've really enjoyed it so far. So this one beat my expectations for what I thought it was going to be. Okay, so now we can move on to the Illumicrate special editions that I've gotten recently. And the first of these is Along with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. It has really nice stenciled edges and sprayed on the top and bottom. It has this little cutout right here and nice foiled end papers. And it is signed. I really like Olivia Blake's writing. This is a book about a girl who is bipolar, and it could be triggering, potentially triggering for people who are bipolar or who tend to be bipolar or have any other sort of mental diagnoses. So I do warn you about that. You can kind of get sucked up into the way of thinking of the main character, and some of her thoughts are very obsessive. But other than that, I really enjoyed this book. I just had a hard time putting it down. I read it in 2 days. So that is the first book. And the second book is These Infinite Threads by Tahira Mafi. It has stenciled edges on the side, sprayed top and bottom. I really like the way the spine has been done. Now, These Infinite Threads is the sequel book to This Woven Kingdom, which Illumicrate also put out as a special edition. I think they look really good together on the shelf. Has these bright green end papers. I do wish they had put some foiling on them. And it is a signed edition. Pages are nicely decorated. I haven't started reading this one yet, but I really enjoyed This Woven Kingdom. It had a slow start, but at about page 360 or 70 something, the story just took off and really helped my attention from that point on. So I'm really looking forward to finding out what happens in this book. And then I have one of the newest Illumicrate special editions, The Stolen Air by Holly Black. And of course, she is most famous for her Folk of the Air series. And I don't know if this book is supposed to be a continuation of that or whether it is a completely separate story, but I do think it's set in the same fantasy world. And it is stenciled on all 3 sides. It's nice end pages. It does not have reverse dust jacket art. It has some nice foiling on the hardcover. Very nice. And the inner pages in the back are the same as in the front. Has a letter from the author. It is not signed on the title page, so I guess this tip-in signature is the most personalization you get from the author. Nice mount. And of course, these books have lovely illustrations. All of Holly Black's books that I have seen have these just really lovely illustrations that make you think of the world of the Fae. And then from several months ago, I have the Atlas 6 and the Atlas Paradox by Livy Blake. Lots of silver. No, not really silver. More iridescent foiling on these books. I really like the spines of the books. No reverse dust jacket art. Some black and white illustrations. Of the different characters. Now, these books were part of the reprint that Illumicrate did when they sold Atlas 6. It sold out so quickly, and so many people felt like they got left out that they did a reprint. So because of that, not all of the books are signed. This one isn't. It was part of the reprint. It wasn't part of the original release. This one has the nice stenciled edges on the sides, sprayed on the top and bottom. Has the iridescent foiling. This one is signed because it was part of a new release. I've read both of these books and thoroughly enjoyed them. And this is not an Illumicrate special edition. This is a Fairyloot special edition. But I just got this just very recently, and I just thought I might as well go ahead and put it in the video. This is Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sue Lynn Tan. And the reason I got this is for the stenciled edges. And it's sprayed top and bottom. Very nice in paper art. No reverse dust jacket art. Some nice foiling on the cover. It is not signed. And the in-paper art on the back of the book is different, which is always nice. This book is the sequel to The Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan. And the Fairyloot, I do not have the Fairyloot edition of that. It is next to impossible to buy on the secondhand market for a reasonable price. I think the lowest I've seen it offered for is $125. And I have the regular US edition, so no way I would pay $125 for that book. Even though it would be nice to have matching editions. So I hope you enjoyed this video and the Illumicrate box items and the special editions that I had to show you, and I hope the video wasn't too long. I went to India and we had a really thrilling trip, a very exotic trip. I saw the Taj Mahal, so that was really wonderful. I went with my oldest daughter and her husband, Michelle and Will, and if you're interested in seeing my video of the Taj Mahal, I will include the link down below so that you can look at that. If you stuck it out to the very end of this video, put a book emoji on your comments, and like, subscribe, comment. I read all the comments, and thank you for joining me.